Good afternoon. Thanks for being here. Well, as you said, it's a different competition, but the same responsibility. Nothing so different. We start from zero, all of us in this competition, and this type of competition format brings you the possibility to dream about all of us, PSL teams, and also the teams coming from the lower leagues, to dream about have a beautiful night, like we have an example yesterday. It's everywhere the same. I have to say, even where I'm coming from in Spain, when the format was different a long time ago, and there were always surprises, things like big clubs eliminated in the first or second round. So we are facing the tournament with big respect for our opponent, ambitious, like I said, same responsibility, different competition, but our objective is to play as much as possible in the competition and find ourselves hopefully in a final. But we have to go step by step, and the first step is to face and deal with a difficult team, well organized, with some interesting individuals as well, and we know the difficulty of the environment on Saturday for us, but we are preparing ourselves really serious and responsible.
Thank you, Coach. Let's take questions from the floor. I've got a hand here. Do we have a microphone for Benjamin? Please just make sure your phones are in silent mode or flight mode.
Coach Benjamin Yirenda, Football Live. As you have said, it's a different ball game, but the same strategy or same aim of going to win. But in the past, we have seen smaller teams like this, like before Maluti FC defeated Paris in the first round. Going into this game, are you going to stick with the tested and trusted players, or you're going to do some rotation?
We don't do rotation. We don't rotate players. I explained it before. Big squad, a lot of quality, and every week start with different scenarios in terms of players suspended, players injured, different opportunities because of the way that the opponent play and the moment of your players. So if we change 2, 3, 4 players on Saturday, it's not because we are rotating, it's because we have some certain needs. Like, for example, Innocent is not going to be part of the squad, so that's one change, but it's not a rotation, it's just a need. So like I said, we are playing one game per week at the moment, so there's no need to rotate. We go in with the intention to go through to the next round, and we will select the players for that mission, not because we are rotating. So there's no rotations in Orlando Pirates. Let's put it in this way.
Okay, Coach, let's move on to the next question. Just looking for hands. Temba Shabalala.
Good afternoon, Coach.
Afternoon.
You come into this match, you are playing away but playing at home. I'm not sure if you
I understand.
Yeah. When you come across a venue change like this, is there any particular planning that you do, considering the Wits Stadium, how small it is, the pitch, compared to the Orlando Stadium that you use every day and you are used to? Because even the Ren Stadium is much bigger than the pitch you're going to play at. What does it require any additional planning from your side in terms of the pitch environment?
You sure? It's smaller.
Well, the parameter of the stadium itself, probably. I can say it's more intimate. Your fans will be at the back, at your back as you coach.
Why I should be intimidated by that?
I don't know. But
I have to answer, sorry. I'm No, to be honest, we know the place, we know the venue. We've been there many times training this season. My time with Pirates started in that complex in the university, in the Roast. I don't remember the name of the other field, but my first trainings were there in Wits. We recently been training there in December. It's a nice place to play football, to be honest. I'm really looking forward to play there and see the stadium hopefully fully, and like you said, the fans are much more close to the field than maybe in the World Cup stadiums where we are used to play in PSL. So that will bring us will bring to the game a different atmosphere. We will try to do our best to put that atmosphere in our favor from the very first minute, and hopefully we can have a good day. But it's going to be the same field for both teams. There's no discussions, no excuses about that. It's a nice place to play football, and it's not going to be an issue for us.
Okay, moving right along. Let's go to Pendulo.
Buenas tardes, Coach.
Buenas tardes.
Coach, now that you've won the cup with Orlando Pirates and going into another cup competition, how much of a burden it is to you to know that you've raised certain expectations from the ever-demanding fans of Orlando Pirates for you to come into this tournament and deliver the results? And as you know, that the tournament has different clubs from different divisions, and does that give you some sort of, I know what happened at Trujillo yesterday, but does that give you some sort of an advantage if you, having considering the belief you have in your players, does that give you an advantage to say, you know what, we can actually go ahead and still get our second trophy? Thank you.
I'm counting all the questions. Again, it's a nice competition, like I said. I have to think about also how my colleagues in the lower division teams feels and think about the tournament and the opportunities for everyone to for example, for our opponent to play, against Orlando Pirates is a huge thing. It's going to be a memorable night for them, whatever happened, and we, like I said, we respect a lot our opponent because we know how difficult it can be, because history is plenty and full of this type of surprises in knockout games. If you play in two legs, it's much more difficult, to see these type of games like we showed yesterday. But when you play for everything in 90 minutes, all of our hopes in this tournament are going to be played in 90 minutes or maybe more if we go to the extra time. So we cannot make jokes about what's coming on Saturday. We know how difficult it's going to be if we are not in our level. If we are in our level, then let's be honest, probably it's going to be more close for us to get the result that we are looking for. But if we are not, then there's going to be 11 against 11. South African football in every stage, in every league is full of talented players. We played many games this season, friendly games, training games against a second division team, second tier, first division teams. And I know about the complexity of those games and how skillful the players are in that division, and they can complicate your life if you are not in your level. The differences between leagues, the difference between leagues is the rhythm of the game. The time that you have to play or the time that you don't have to play. If we propose a game where the opponent is going to have time and space and meters, and it's going to be difficult for us. If we play in our level, the level that you play or you're supposed to be playing in PSL or in the top games, then it's going to be more complex for the team. So it's about us to make a difficult game for them or an easy game for them. And we are preparing the game in a way that we are going to make it difficult. Did I answer everything already? Okay, great.
Okay, let's keep it moving. Do you have other questions? let's go to chat. The questions are all from this side, right hand side. Okay.
Yeah, owning the mic. Coach, just on Fatu made the comment earlier, the coach of All Stars earlier said you have been sending analysts to come and look at their games. What have you made of them, and how do you approach a team of like All Stars and make sure that you get out of the game what you demand from your players?
No, like I said, we prepare the game as usually, so we try to know as much as possible of our opponent. It doesn't matter from which league is coming from. We take it serious. We want to know as much as possible about them because we respect them. It's not an empty talk. And then, as usually, we focus in ourselves, as we did 1 week ago, playing against the top team in the league, and trying to find the gaps, the holes, the spaces where we can punish our opponent. And I think they are a team comfortable on the ball with good technique, with two good center backs in order to control the games. Like I said, a couple of good individuals in the center midfield as well, and dangerous and with capacity to run behind the spaces. So if we think about a game where Pirates should get the control of the game, the way we decide to attack and the places where we are going to end our attacks are going to play a big part of the game in order to avoid transitions, because if we keep the situations under control, we should be the better team in theory. That's what everybody expects when you play first against second division. But when the game is not under control and there's spaces for run, everybody can run, everybody can create problems if you have spaces to run behind, and the players they are good enough up front to create troubles to every other team. So those are the situations that we need to avoid, because otherwise we will have difficult moments there. And like I said, it's a team that we respect because we were watching them in detail, and they have interesting things in attack, interesting patterns, and if they have the time and the space to do it, it's going to be difficult for us to counteract. So we need to push the game in a level where it's difficult for them to survive, and that's the intention.
Okay, let's move on to Lorenz.
Coach Lorenz here from the Jersey Times. Coach Scott announced, obviously after his 1 month period, that he's left the club. But obviously he had an immediate impact, considering how much goals you scored in the games after he arrived. Are you considering getting a coach in a permanent role, or do you think the impact that he's made over the last few weeks has left an imprint on the forwards that he worked with?
I'll try to say something different than the last 3 weeks. No, it's like I said, it was a new thing for all of us to have a striker coach in the staff. It was an interesting experience. I said already many times that it's going to be, in 5-6 years, it's not going to be a question in a press conference. We're not going to talk about this because it's going to be an ordinary thing in every team, in my opinion. Like I said, it was a first touch with that experience for all of us in the staff, for the club. We are in a club which is always looking for improvement in every area, every department. We try to go ahead in like I said, in many different departments, and the presence of Scott was positive. We try to continue also from the things that we learned from Scott to implement in our group, to continue working on it, and who knows, maybe in the future Scott or somebody else is part of our staff. It's something that we still have possibilities to discuss. Yeah, who knows, maybe it's coming somebody to coach every other department. Like I said, I think it's going to be the future. It's about especially for me as a head coach, how to learn how to work with a figure like that, and try to get as much as possible of a presence of a specialist like Scott in the group.
Thank you, Coach. Last round of questions. Just looking for new hands. I've noted you, Benji. Okay, in the absence of new hands, Benjamin.
Coach, it's just a follow-up question on the team. As you said, Mayela will be missing the game. Is it on a suspension, injury, or what? And following on that, can we expect to see the Cameroon striker and Makaula? Can we see them on Saturday playing or starting all on the bench?
Now, Innocent is suspended. He got a yellow card against Sundowns. The last game is not going to be available on Saturday. That's the reason. Maru is our player and Makaula is our player, so it's a possibility that you will see them on Saturday in Wits, 8 o'clock. But let's see, still our -1 training is coming tomorrow, and let's see what happens tomorrow, and let's see what happens Saturday, but it's a possibility.